So we'll start the class only. So I'm sending all the files, required files.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sending the documents only. Just 1 minute.
Okay. I thought that voice is struck. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually, I sent both the files as we discussed in the morning session. So actually, if you want to do the practice, you need to have the 3 files. So 2 are the CSV files and 1 is the transformational document. I sent all these 3 documents to you in the Telegram group. So please download into a particular folder. And in your local system, in whatever the folder you are copying, so for that folder, don't give any spaces only. If you are giving any spaces as part of running the Cloud SDK command, you will face some kind of errors. Download CSV files and transformation rule document into your local folder. And just a suggestion here. So for this folder, don't give any spaces to avoid issues while running Cloud SDK commands. So in the real time, where we are going to have the landing zone? In the real time, we are going to have the landing zone in the Unix server or in the Unix box only. But coming to here, whatever the practicals we are doing, where we are maintaining our landing zone, we are maintaining the landing zone in your local system, in your local folder. In whatever the folder you are maintaining all these files, that only we can able to call it as a landing zone. For that reason, coming to first step, I'm saying that we'll do it in the real time. So for now, we are using the local folder. And please verify in your local folder whether you are having all the files or not. So please complete the first three steps only. So once you are going to download, indirectly we can able to say first three steps are going to complete. In the real time, in the Unix path, we need to verify the file path. Now what we have to do, you need to verify it in the local folder in your local system. In whatever the folder you are copying the file, that only we are calling it as a landing zone. In that landing zone, we need to have the files. So please download the folders files into the specific folder. And just one question only. So how many people are using the Notepad++? Hope all are using the Notepad++. So please try to use the Notepad++ because compared to normal Notepad, in the Notepad++, you can able to see the different options and one thing. Other thing is, even if you forgot to save it also, after restarting the system also, you can able to see the content in the Notepad++. In the real time also, most of the people are going to use the Notepad++. So try to habituate using the Notepad++ and Excel sheet regularly. With that, coming to non-real time employees and in the real time, mostly we are going to use the Notepad++ and we are going to use the Excel sheets. So try to habituate working on the Notepad++ and also Excel sheets. Okay. Okay. Now coming to first step, what we need to do? We need to initialize our SDK session. So how to initialize the SDK session? Here I'm saying that two options only. Try to open both the options here. Option 1 from local system, open your Cloud SDK. Option 2 from console, open G-Cloud shell. So try to open both the things only. From the local system, open your Cloud SDK. Option 2 from the console also open the Cloud shell. Please initialize your Cloud SDK session. So I'm saying that open it in both the ways. One is from your local system, open the Cloud SDK shell. And after that, from the console also open the G-Cloud shell. And if you want to initialize the session, what's the command we need to use? Open, everyone remember that. So just we have to give it as a G-Cloud init. and select your mail ID properly and select your project also properly. Okay. So next step, we need to create the bucket. So how to create the bucket? What's the command? gsutil mb. After that, how to give the bucket name? gs colon / you can give some name like this, or if you want to include it as simply use case 1, something like this. You can give any name by depending on your convenience. Just here I'm giving it as a use case 1.
Sir, in Cloud SDK, after selecting project, it is frequently asking for selecting region for compute engine. Is it required, or we can give no?
You can give n and it. Just check. I didn't try that, so just give n and check whether it is working or not. If it is working, you can work it like that. Just give n. If you are given the n, it is directly going to the command prompt. So
Yes,
from there, you can able to try to perform the operations. If it is working fine, well and good.
okay, I gave n and yes, now it is good, sir. I'll give this command.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, next one, we need to check whether bucket created or not. How to verify whether bucket created or not? gsutil space ls. Okay, just by giving the ls command, you can able to verify whether your bucket has been created or not. Just give the command gsutil space ls. Actually, I can able to say all these steps you can do your own self only, but might be some people will face the problem. That's the reason I am explaining each and every step. If you understood the requirement and if you understand how to perform the operation, you can go ahead and please perform all the operations over one. I'm not stopping you, but it's my responsibility to explain all the steps. That's the reason I'm explaining everything. But if you understand the requirement, if you know how to do the everything, so you can go ahead and please do things properly. Okay, now what's the next step? We need to copy the files. How to copy the files? Give me the command gsutil space copy, then local folder path and your bucket path.
All the files in a single folder, right?
Yeah, correct. So you are going to maintain all the data in the single folder. Same way, you need to maintain all the files also into the same path, single bucket. gsutil copy. In the local folder path, how many files you are having? 2 files. Coming to bucket also, how many files you have to maintain? 2 files. Indirectly, you need to run this command 2 times a day. Otherwise, if you want, just give it as a star.csv here. If you are given the star.csv at a time, you can able to copy all the files to your bucket.
I'm creating the bucket itself, you're getting not found like that. I'm getting same GS util MB space GS colon hyphen use case 1. The command not found. The GS util command not found. I'm getting in the cloud shell.
First time you are doing the gsutil or already worked on the gsutil earlier?
Yeah, yesterday also we used this one.
Okay, so for example, if you're facing this issue, just you can go to the cloud shell and so from the console also we can able to open the cloud shell, right? So instead of spending the time on that, just for the shortcut, you can go to the cloud shell. From the cloud shell, try to perform the same operation. So I'm giving every step here only. So run the same command 2 times for the both the files. or if you want, run at a time by giving the star.csv by depending on your convenience. Okay. So after that, we need to verify the file. We need to verify files are copied or not. How we can able to verify? GSUtil space what next? ls give your bucket path. Whatever the bucket you created, give the complete path, and with that, what you can able to see, you can able to see in the bucket whether files are copied or not. That information you can able to see.
Sir, can you go a bit slow? Why? Because actually I have created the bucket, but in the list it is not showing. I don't know why.
See, all these are the commands already we discussed earlier multiple number of times, Sunday. So still, if you want me to go slow, that is not correct. That's my feeling. Might be,
No.
can you please verify whether you selected the proper project or not?
Typing and
Yes,
entering
yeah, I have
project.
selected the right project.
Now, if you selected the proper project, then it has to display. Otherwise, can you please go to the console and please verify whether bucket created or not?
Okay.
Sir, I have given
Someone else is having the question. Yeah, please continue.
Sir, I have given those three files in a single folder and I copied, no problem, right?
Yeah, actually, for our requirement, 3 files are not required because we are not doing any operations on the transformational document. If you copied also, it's okay, no issues.
Okay.
Just go to the console, go to the bucket. From there, you can remove it. If you are having the file also, it won't create any kind of issues going forward.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, from the Cloud SDK, please give the proper mail ID, please give the proper project, then only please try to run the commands. I am assuming that you already did the practice multiple times from the Cloud SDK. So with that, just I'm typing all the commands here. If you are selecting the wrong project or if you are doing any wrong activities, it won't create the bucket properly. Okay, now what's the next step? We need to create the CZ, SZ, and VZ datasets in the BigQuery. Tell me what is the query we need to provide to create the datasets. Create dataset. Sorry, create schema. My mistake on it. Create schema. What next? Directly schema name. Directly, can we give the name? We need to give project name dot your database name or your dataset name. But tell me what is the dataset name I need to provide for the CZ. And for HZ, what is the dataset name? And for VZ, what is the dataset name I need to provide? How I can understand that information? Yeah, business will provide. Where they will provide in the transformational document. So before in the morning session we discussed, right? At the end of the class we discussed, Randy. In that transformational document, you can able to see all the database names and everything. Now for CZ, if you want to create the database, just you can able to open your transformational document. If you see the transformational document, here we can able to see the dataset name. What is the dataset name we need to create? CZ election results. Please create the same dataset. Create schema, your project name.
So if you are giving the use case one, it's getting like already exist like that we are getting, sir. But is that will take as a universal checking that bucket will check, or only internal to my system it will check the bucket?
You want to tell me bucket name should be unique across all the globe or it should be unique across our system? That also we discussed in the previous classes. Bucket name.
Bucket
name should be unique across the globe. Okay, if you want, you can give it as a CD bash 19 your name or CD bash 19 your name use case 1, something like that. Try to give.
Okay.
The bucket path means bucket path.
This is the path. So we have to give the GS:// then we need to give the bucket name. That is the bucket path. Online, offline people, any issues so far? Online people, any issues so far?
Unable to copy that on 7th point.
Unable to copy. What's the error you are getting?
Yeah, getting The directory path is not matched. Did you mean to do copy cp-r? No URL match to the file you are
No,
operating.
you are given the single file or you are given the multiple files. Try to copy with the single file. So you can give your local folder path as C drive / your folder name / your file name. Then give the bucket path. It will copy one file. After that, you can copy the one more file.
Okay.
Okay, after confirm zone data set, what we have to do? We need to create the semantic zone data set and again we have to give the same command. But how we can able to find out what is my semantic zone data set name? Again, we need to go to the same transformational document. In the transformational document, we can able to see the tab called as a semantic tab. In the semantic tab, you can able to see the data set name. What is the data set name we are having? SZ_election results. This is the data set name for the semantic zone. Create schema, your project name dot schema name. So here I'm giving it as a SZ_election results. Don't ask me where we need to perform all these activities and where we need to perform all these activities. The SDK. Okay, from the SDK, are you able to run these queries? You have to do this from the BigQuery console. I will include that also. Please do these activities from console. So first we'll complete all the activities from the console and with that you will get the end-to-end knowledge. After that, you can able to perform the same activities from the Cloud SDK also. So whatever the data sets I'm creating, please create all these data sets from the console just for our easy understanding for the today's practical session. Once you can able to understand end-to-end process, then what you can do here, same process we can able to replicate from the Cloud SDK also. Please perform this next step from the console. In the console, please run these queries. And what is your project name? Don't give your project name, and you need to give your project name. Okay, if your project name is sample QT or QT sample or anything, that name please give. Don't give the same thing and ask me the question, sir, it is not showing your project name. And in the same way, try to create the third dataset also, which is nothing but visualization zone dataset, and give the name is create schema, your project name dot VZ_election results.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. So
Yeah, please.
try to copy the local file to bucket path. So I have given the bucket path as well as the local folder path also. So again, it is showing the no URL.
No URL. How you are given the query? So this is the way we need to give the query, and this is the way we need to give the command.
Yes, sir. GSUtil CP and D drive. So where I have saved the files.
How you are given the bucket path?
GS underscore.
GS underscore or GS colon. This is the way you have to give
GS
the path.
:/ and the bucket path.
Bucket name I have.
Bucket name.
This is the way you have to give it, and GS : / your bucket name / you can give that file name. Still it is giving the error.
Yes, sir.
No, why it will give the error? Other people also facing the same error. It's a kind of a basic thing, and so we are not doing anything specifically here. No, -r is not required. Why required? So we are copying the only one file. Now, if you are copying the multiple files, then we need to go for -r. But if you are copying the single file, then why we need to go for -r?
Sir, yeah, I'm also facing the same error. But while we are going through SDK, it will not it will not throw that error because it is local to.
Sir.
Through SDK only I'm trying, but it threw an error.
Through SDK it is working fine, but through console it is throwing no error.
Local path, after that we can give anything to or something, bucket path.
Sir, can you please check the chart? I have pasted my URL.
So can you give something like this slash, give the punjab.csv. gs:// your use case bucket name slash, give the file name as punjab.csv. Can you try that once? Is it working? Prahlada, is it working?
Yes, sir, checking. Again, same error, sir. No URL matched.
Can you please close your SDK and please open it one more time and please select the proper project ID and mail ID and try to perform the same operation, because for everyone it's working only.
I'm like this in Cloud Shell, sir. So
No, in the Cloud Shell, why you're doing? So did I told you to do that in the Cloud Shell? See, in the Cloud Shell, what is happening is, in the yesterday also we discussed, right? In the Cloud Shell, can we connect to the D drive? Other people also, if you're trying from the Cloud Shell, that is completely you're doing the mistake only. In the Cloud Shell, from the browser, can we able to connect to the D drive?
No.
Then how you are doing that operation? Yesterday also we discussed about the same thing, right? When we are creating the schema.json file, what we have done, we created the file manually in the console from the Cloud Shell. Please do this copy operation from the Cloud SDK. So I will mention that also otherwise.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll try it in
Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's okay. First time you're doing, definitely people will do this kind of mistakes, no issues. Okay. So some other people are also saying that you people are getting same issue, right? Might be you are trying from the Cloud Shell and I am explaining the reason. If you are trying from the Cloud Shell, indirectly you are working from the browser. From the browser, we cannot able to connect to the D drive. That's the reason might be that is giving that error. Please run this from the Cloud SDK in your local system.
When we are using SDK also, earlier I got the error, but after specifying the single file name, then it worked.
Yeah, so if you want to give the multiple files, then we have to give it as a -r. -r is nothing but it is going to copy the files recursively. But if you want to copy the single file, then we have to specify the single file name like this. Whatever that I'm showing in the screen.
Oh, okay. When I get single file, it works.
Okay.
But the visualization zone database name that we are giving by ourselves, or is it mentioned somewhere in the?
No, that also will mention in the transformational document, but whatever the document I shared with you, in the document we don't have that. That's the reason just I typed here. Just you can give the same name, but generally in the transformational document only you are going to get the visualization zone name also.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, for create schema, you will give the commands, right? Or I have to do it by myself, or?
No, do yourself only. So why I need to do?
Okay,
see, just I will type everything here. So for everyone, whatever the practicals we are going to perform, you yourself has to type everything and you yourself has to do everything only. So these commands also I am typing in the screen, but please type yourself. At least with that we can able to get one more time hands on, right? That's the reason.
Sir, one doubt, sir. So
Yeah,
create
please.
a table with the columns and data types in it. That's the thing, sir, right? Step 9.
No, in the step 9, what we are doing, we are creating the tables or we are creating the data sets. In the step 9, we are creating the data sets, and if you are creating the data set, indirectly we are creating the database, which is nothing but we are giving the command called as a create schema, your project name dot data set name. That is the command we need to run from the BigQuery console.
Okay, just 3 data sets I will create, sir. Thank you, sir.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sir, BQMK command also work, right?
Yeah, that also we can do. For now, please perform all, say for everyone, everything. Please perform all the activities from the console from the 9th step onwards. So whenever we need to perform any activities from the Cloud SDK, I will let you know. So first time we are doing end to end. So first to try to perform all the activities from the console. After that, we'll do the same activities again from the Cloud SDK.
So till 8.10, 9th I am doing. Could you please wait, sir?
Yeah, sure. Online people, anyone else facing any kind of issues, please travel parallelly with me. If you're stuck at anywhere, if I'm discussing about a 4th step, don't ask me what is happening in the 8th step. If you have any kind of issues or questions, please ask me. Offline people, any issues so far? Yes. Creating the schema given the error from console. What's the error? Expected syntax error. Simple query, right? Why you are getting the syntax error?
Project name is project name.
No, it won't do an error. I think for me it created. Sorry? I am also created properly. Yeah, no, here someone is saying when they are giving the project name dot database name is given some error. Just I'm checking it. Okay. So up to next step, everyone completed. Okay. Now what's the next step? We need to verify whether all the data sets are created properly or not. In the console, how we can able to verify? Just to verify it in the left side panel, and in the left side panel, you can able to see all the list of the databases, whatever we discussed. So in the left side panel, you can able to see all the databases, whatever we created. Because we are doing all the operations from the console. After doing all the operations from the console, then we'll do it from the Cloud SDK. So within the console, in the left side panel, just to verify it once, whether all the three databases are created or not.
Sir, I am getting error called create command not found.
Create command not found.
Yes, sir, in console.
Oh, command. So can you please verify the spelling? Please verify the spelling and check it once. Hope you selected the project and everything properly.
Yes,
and you are running it from the console only, right?
yes, from console only.
Then why is given the create? Tell me what is the query you have written completely?
Create schema space my project name dot no, 1 second. Sir. Create schema project name dot cz underscore election underscore events.
Okay. Hope you given the create space schema. Can you please bring your query in the chat group?
Sure.
In the Zoom chat.
By giving the project name, we are not getting because it is having hyphens instead of underscore.
Your project name is having hyphen.
Yeah, project name can be hyphen, right? It is optional, not the underscore.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone facing the issue while creation of this one only, so just you can try to do like this, because some people are facing the issue when they're given the project name. Without giving the project name, just to try to create something like this.
Just like data set name is enough.
Yeah, that's no, but when I'm
Try
creating
to face that hyphen, my project name hyphen is there, it's not working. I removed the project name. Since we are in already project, we can give data set name as directly.
No, but if you see here in my system, I given it as a project name dot table name, but it's working. For some people, it's
hyphen
working.
name. No, hyphen name. Hyphen is there. If you
Sir,
type name, it will
like
not work.
it is a GCP console, right? Directly, we are using a GCP console SDK. There it's not working command prompt, but here console it is working.
No, but why you are doing it from the SDK? I told you right already. Next step onwards, please do all the activities from the console. Please follow my steps, and if you are doing it at the different places, might be will get the confusion.
Yeah, correct.
If you want, you can follow, but if you are facing any issues, please inform that or specify you are facing the issue in the console or you are facing the issue in the SDK. Otherwise, we'll get the confusion. Other people. Okay.
On the console, I am also getting the error, sir, with project name. Without the project name, I am able to create.
Yeah, that's the reason here I mentioned it. So you can, if you are getting any issues with the project name, please remove the project name and please try that.
Yes.
Sir, I have given the screenshot also with the command. I have removed the project name and also tried.
No, why you are doing from the SDK?
No, this is not SDK, sir. Cloud Shell only.
Yeah, that's the Cloud Shell. And what I'm telling, I'm asking you to do this from the BigQuery console. See, multiple times I told you, right? So for now, please perform all these activities from the 9th step onwards from the BigQuery console. So anyone have any confusion? So this is the 10th time or 11th time I'm repeating the same statement, and the 9th step onwards, please try to execute all these queries from the BigQuery console. Is it clear?
Sorry, my bad. I got confused.
Yes, no issues, no issues, no issues. Please try to run from the BigQuery console. Okay. The first time, obviously, people are having the confusions only. No issues. If you have any small issues also, please raise it. Because first time you are doing end-to-end, right? So might be you are having some kind of confusion. Okay. So after creation of all the data sets, and now what is the 11th step? We need to create the required tables in all the databases. So to do this, we need to have the refer the mapping document. Now my requirement is first I want to create the confirm zone table. In the confirm zone, I want to create the table called as nothing but STG_Punjab table. So this is the table I want to create. Now, if you want to create the table, first what we need to understand, we need to understand what is the structure of the table, from where we can able to get the structure. Whatever the transformation rule I shared with you in this transformation rule document, you can able to see the structure of the confirm zone table. What is the confirm zone table you want to create? I want to create the STG_Punjab table. Here, if you see, we are having the dataset name, you are having the table name, you are having the column names, and you are having the data types also. By using all this information, please try to prepare the create statement yourself and please try to create the table. Don't expect I will share the create statement, and please try to type everything from your side and please prepare the create statement, and with that please try to create the table from the BigQuery console. What is the meaning of hands-on? You yourself has to do. Please do this. Because in the real time, no one is going to share the create commands directly to you, and you have to prepare by using this kind of documents. Or if you want, I can able to show you how we can able to do it in the shortcut way only. So please observe here for a few minutes. Later, again, don't ask the questions. Please observe from the for a few minutes here. See, from here, just you can able to copy the dataset name and target table name into your Notepad++. Okay, just remove this. Just give it as a create table. What's the syntax of create command? Create table, table name, open bracket and closure bracket. So within the brackets only, we need to pass all the column names only. Create table, table name, database name dot table name. This is the best practice. And still, if you ask me, I can able to say one more thing. Create table if not exists. This is the best approach if you want to create the tables in the real-time project. Create table if not exist, then we are given the database name dot table name. Okay, after that, what we have to do, we need to provide the structure of the table. If you observe here, we are having all the columns in the order. In the same order, we need to provide the information. Please copy all this content from the Excel sheet. I am copying the column name and data type at a time. Please copy this and you can paste it here. Okay, after that, that's it, or we need to do any other activities. For every column, we have to give the comma delimiter only. So column name, data type, comma, column name, data type, comma. But do we have any commas here? No, right? For that reason, here you can able to type the commas manually. If anyone is using the Notepad++, please click on the Alt button. Move your mouse like this. Just give the comma. This is a kind of a shortcut only. Instead of typing every time, what we can do here, with the single option, we can able to give the comma for all the lines at a time. Just I'm repeating this. If you are having the Notepad++, just place the cursor here. Click on Alt button from the keyboard. Move your mouse like this. Now, if you can give the comma at a time, it is taking the comma like this. If it is not working, you have to give, you can give comma manually. But for this reason, don't get any kind of confusion. Only it's a kind of a small shortcut we are having in the Notepad++. In the real time, also most of the time we are going to use the Notepad++. For that reason, I am asking you to do this activity from the Notepad++ by using these kind of shortcuts. But it's not,
sir, one doubt, sir. Clicking on Alt and mouse together and then press the comma symbol.
No, first to put the mouse at anywhere.
Okay.
Then click on the Alt button. Then move the mouse from top to bottom.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then give the comma. It will populate the comma in all the lines automatically.
Working, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So if you want to type everything, it will take very good amount of time, and it's a kind of a shortcut. In the real time, we are not going to type everything because already column names and data types, everything is present in the Excel sheet. Just we can do this kind of copy paste operation. We can able to give the commas automatically like this. It's not at all related to the technical topic. It's a kind of a general topic. Okay, so once you are ready with the create command, please run this query from the console, BigQuery console. Yeah, if anyone is feeling why we are taking this much of time for each and every step on this, I need to guide all the people. For that reason, I'm taking this much of time. If you completed already, you can go ahead with the next steps, Andy. So what we have to do total, we need to create the 3 tables here. If you understood what to do, you can continue with the next steps, but I need to wait for the other people. That's the reason I'm taking this much of time.
So here we are not using the partition concept, right?
Yeah, we are not using the partition.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Because if you observe, we don't have any date column under. If you want, you can create the partition and any integer column, but we are not creating any partition column for now in this example.
Okay.
Sir, what data set name we have to choose, sir? See, is it election results?
Now tell me, so in which database we are creating the tables?
Oh,
In
okay,
which
sir.
database we are creating? We are creating it in the confirm zone database, right? So you
Confirm
have to
zone.
give it
Okay.
as a CZ underscore LS underscore results.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if anyone completed the creation of the staging Punjab table, same way, please try to create the staging underscore Telangana table also. If you people created the staging underscore Punjab table, please try to create the one more table called as a staging underscore Telangana table. And just I'm doing this operation. If anyone missed for the staging Punjab, you can able to refer this Sunday. I'm giving create table. Just I'm giving the if not exist. So we are creating the one more staging table or one more confirm zone table. For that reason, we are given the same database name one more time. And we are given the table name is staging underscore Telangana. And within the brackets, again, we need to pass the column names. So from where we can able to get the column names of Telangana, again, we need to go to the transformation rule document. In the transformation rule document for the staging Telangana, you can able to see all the column names and just to copy all those column names. And paste it. Again, if you want to populate the comma, you can able to use the shortcut from the Notepad++. So did anyone feeling why I'm not giving all these commands? If you're feeling also, I want to give it only because you have to do everything. Please do it.
The shortcut one more time, can explain, sir. Control.
Shortcut. So just I'm type, for example, one second. Yeah. So for example, we are having the data like this. Please place the mouse at any line at the beginning. From the keyboard, click on Alt button. Then move the mouse from top to bottom. Then in every line, you can able to see the cursor. Then just give the comma symbol. That's it. If it is not working, don't spend much time on this one. It is just a shortcut only. If it is not working, directly you can give the comma manually if you want.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working. If it is working, well and good. That's it, or we need to perform any other activity here? We created the 2 tables, but total how many tables we need to create? We need to create total 3 tables only. So one is the staging Punjab table, other one is the staging Telangana table. Both the tables are present in the confirm zone. Now we need to create the one more table in which database? In the semantic zone database. In the semantic zone database, we need to create the one more table. So if you want to create the table, we need to go to the semantic tab here. In the same transformational document, please go to the semantic tab. In the semantic tab, you can able to see the data set name and you can able to see the target table name. Please take this. And you can paste it here. Just give the dot, remove the space. Your semantic zone database name dot your table name. Okay, and for here also we need to give the column names, from where we can able to get the column names and data type. Again, from the same transformational document. Now for this table, we need to create the schema. So here we need to copy the respective column name and data types. In the semantic zone tab, in the under the semantic section, you are having the target table called as a result summary. Beside that, you can able to see your column names and data types. Copy those and paste it into your Notepad++. And please separate everything with the comma properly. And run the same command again from the console. So if you are facing any small issue, also don't hesitate to ask the question. And please ask the question, then only I can able to help you.
Sir, in the BigQuery, I created the data sets with small. That's why I think it is.
Your voice is breaking, Andy. Can you please repeat the question?
That BigQuery is a console. Is that uppercase or lowercase meant or something, sir?
Anything is in limit.
Sir, I'm checking with all lowercase, that is why it's not working.
Yeah, otherwise, whatever the name you given, please try it with that. So you are saying that with uppercase, we are getting some issue. Try to give the name, whatever the name you given, by giving that name, please try to create that.
Okay.
Okay, everyone created all the 3 tables? Offline people, online people. Okay. Now, if you see here, what's the next step after creation?
So like we have created the first 2, like confirmation and also the second one. But what of the third table structure, sir?
The third table also I created, right? That's the one only we discussed just now, right?
No, just go up, sir. Okay, so first table is like Punjab, 2 tables are there.
Yeah, third table name. So how you can able to find out the third table name? So you need to go to the transformational document. In the transformational document, go to the semantic tab. In the semantic tab, you can able to see the what is the semantic table name. This is the semantic table name, results _ summary. And for this table, you can able to see the structure here. These total we are having the 5 columns in the target table or semantic table. By using this, you need to create the table.
Okay, so total how many tables are? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thanks.
So what is result underscore summary?
Sorry, come again.
I want to the third table name.
You want? I didn't get that.
Sir, got it, sir. Means I want to the particular name. So of the third table, the result summary.
Is it a question or you are confirming?
No, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no issues. Okay, so after creation of the tables and all these 3 tables, so please verify the structure of the table. So how we can able to verify the structure of the tables? Verify the structure of the tables. How we can able to verify? So from the BigQuery console, just to select your table from the BigQuery console, from the left side panel, select your table. once we are going to select the table, here automatically you can able to get the structure of your table, whatever you created. If you want, just to verify at the high level, how many columns are there in the transformational document, how many columns we given as part of creation of the table. If you want to verify this kind of information, in the console, left side, click on the table name. With that, you can able to see the schema. This schema you can able to compare with our Excel sheet.
So I missed one column, sir. So then I deleted the table. Then again, I'm creating the table. I'm getting duplicate columns like that. I'm getting.
Might be you're having the column already, or drop the complete table and try to create it one more time.
I deleted from the console, from the right click of that free.
Okay.
Done. Then I'm not seeing any table here.
Okay.
So do I need to refresh somewhere? And
no, it's not required. So again, you can create you can run your command or refresh it and run it once. Nothing will happen. Just refresh it once and try to create the table one more time.
Okay.
Okay, if all are ready with the table Sunday, so now what is the next step? We need to create the load scripts to load the data into the confirm zone database. So we need to load the data into the confirm zone database from the console. If you want to load the data from the confirm zone from the console, what is the command we have to use?
BQ load.
BQ load. Are we doing it from the console or we are doing this from the?
Oh, sorry. It's load data.
Yeah, so we need to give the command called as a load data. So please give the command and so this is the command we need to use to load the data into the punjab.csv Punjab table. Please give this. And if you did the practice, you yourself can please try to type it today. With that, you can able to recollect what we discussed in the previous classes. But if you forgot the command, then please try to run this command. By seeing, please type and try to copy data from the CSV file to your table. Load data into your database name dot table name. So here we are dealing with the confirm zone database and we are given the staging table name called as a staging Punjab table. From the files, we are going to copy the data. So we are given the from files and we need to give the format and we need to give the path of the GCS file. So for that reason, we are giving all this information. So if you are typing by seeing my screen under here, please provide your bucket name. Don't give this bucket name. Might be you are not having this bucket name in your system. In the GCS path, please give your bucket name. So please load the data into both the staging tables. One is the Punjab table, and another one is the Telangana table. So what is the source for these two tables? What is the source for these two tables? Our GCS bucket files and whatever the files we are having in the bucket, we are using those bucket files. From there, we are loading the data into our staging tables, or we are calling it as a confirm zone tables. Okay, if anyone completed the 13th step, we need to validate the data in the CJ database. How we can able to validate? Just give the query called as select star from the table. So give select star from the table for on top of Punjab table and on top of Telangana table. Actually, I think you need to see the total 12 columns information once you are going to give the select statement.
Sir, here it is giving no column found. What does that mean?
No column found. What is the column you are giving?
No, sir. Loading. I'm loading.
Okay. While loading, what happened?
No column found. Failed to pass CSV file for load data set statement.
Which means you are giving you given some wrong structure in the table under. Please verify the structure whether you given all the columns or not.
Okay, sir.
Sir, in the election result, CZ election results, we have stage Punjab and stage Telangana.
Yes,
Two tables.
Yes.
So we need to create other data set for SZ and need to create a one table.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay. So this loading operation succeeded, or anyone facing any issues?
Sir, into Punjab, it was successful. I can see that data. Can I see that?
Yeah, you can see now. So if you want to see the data for Punjab data, what you can do is just to go to the BigQuery console, give the query called as select star from your Punjab table. With that, you can able to see the data.
Sir, we can preview it also, right?
Yeah, you can preview it, whatever you want. So we are having the multiple options. One is you can do the preview, or you can do the select star from the table. By using any one of the option, verify whether data loaded or not.
I mean, my intention here is if we are querying it, right, it charges.
It's okay, Randy. So I think we are having only 200 records. It won't charge much. It's a kind of a $0.001. It's okay. So when we are dealing with a very huge amount of data, then we need to worry. But committee here, I think we have around 300 to 400 records only. It won't charge much.
Sir, I found a select invalid schema update. Can you that please?
No, can you please repeat the question? I didn't get that.
While loading the data, I am pressing a so
What's the issue?
invalid schema update.
Invalid schema update is nothing but you created the table structure wrongly. Might be you missed some columns while creation of the table. Please verify the structure whether you given all the columns properly or not.
I'm getting error like in URIS URIS is equal to square braces I have given. Inside the square braces, tilt in between I have given the path.
It's not tilted, this is single quote.
Single quote.
This is single quote.
What about the first that one tilt, right, sir?
All the things are in this window, whatever the single quotes we're having, all those are single quotes and it's not tilt.
It's saying that unclosed string.
Yeah, please verify. So somewhere you are missing the single quote. You open the single quote, but you haven't closed it. So those are basic errors. So please verify somewhere you forgot to do the single quote properly. Offline people, anyone facing the issue while loading the data?
So still I didn't get that step. Sir, I created the table, so then I need to load which come that 13 steps we need to create.
No, here we are creating the table and we are loading the data. We are loading the data. After creation of the table, we need to load the data. Okay, online people, please wait for 2 minutes. Sunday. Offline people are facing some issues. I'm checking with them. You can continue. Just I will come back. Offline people all are completed. Online people, anyone facing any issues so far?
Sir, some of the columns are not containing the values. What was there in the spreadsheet, sir?
In the file we are having it as a. You can open the CSV file now. Whatever the CSV file I sent to you,
Yes,
you can
sir.
open the CSV file and you can verify that. Might be those are we are having the black values or we are having null values.
Value is there, but still it is populated with null or none of the above. Like that, it is coming, sir, for some of the records.
For which records is coming like that?
Candidate name and sex, it is coming. For age also, it is coming, sir.
Okay.
And category, all these things. First to 14 rows are not populated with values, but rest and all fine. Everything else is fine for me.
Okay.
Same with me, sir.
Now, can you please verify in that file, do we have any kind of null values? Don't check
Okay,
the data
sir.
in the order. Okay, please check the
Okay.
data based on any key column. You can refer the key column as a candidate name, or you can refer the key column as a constituency. By using the try to if you are going to verify the data in the order of the values, only it is not going to load the data in the particular order. Your data is loading in the distributed manner, which is nothing but your data is loading in parallel. In the CSV file, we are having one kind of order, but in the table, we are having the one more kind of order.
Yes, sir. As you said, it is there. Null values are there, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
What is this managed table? Because after completing success, we can say that the data has been loaded in managed table.
You want to tell me what's the managed table?
That means right now what we are loading that one.
Yeah, what is the managed table?
It's nothing but native table.
Native.
Yeah, what is meant by native table?
Maintaining in BigQuery.
Yeah, so see here, actually we are creating the, we can call it the native table or managed table or internal table. All these are the different naming conventions. Okay, so whenever we are calling it as a managed table, what it means, the data is storing into your BigQuery storage.
Okay.
If it is saying that the external table is created properly, what is meant by external table? That table is referring the data from the GCS bucket.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I am assuming that all the people are completed loading the data into the staging table, Sandy, and also you verified the data in the staging table. Now you people try to give the answer how we need to load the data into the semantic zone table.
According to requirement in the Excel sheet, like.
Yeah, so please verify the requirement and try to load the data into the semantic zone table.
Yeah.
Please see the transformation rule document and try to understand how to load data into semantic zone table. Please try from your side. Then if request, I will help you. See the transformation rule document and try to understand how to load the data into the semantic zone table.
We can do union, sir. Combine both the tables and put it into the semantic table.
Yeah, do whatever you want. I will explain. Yeah, you can try your own way. While I'm explaining, you can able to cross check whether you are doing correct or not. That's a correct answer. But other than union, we need to perform some other activities also. Please see the transformation rules and try to understand what activities we need to perform. Hey, everyone, one question. Is it fine if you are going like this or you want me to explain everything? Explain the sense you want me to share all these comments.
No, sir. Allow us to think for some time, sir.
Yeah. So why I'm asking this, because in the coming days also we are going to discuss about the other use cases, Sunday. If you are fine with this approach, we'll continue the same approach. But if you are expecting everything from my side, what I can do simply I will copy all these comments and I will share it to you. With that, within 5 minutes only you can able to complete end to end, but you won't get anything. That's the reason I'm not sharing any comments today. If you are typing everything, at least you can able to recollect whatever we discussed in the previous classes. And if you are going to work in the real time also, no one is going to provide all this information. You yourself has to prepare everything. whomever completed till step 14, please try to understand from your side how we need to perform the step 15. Here you need to apply your database concept skills and analytical skills and BigQuery skills. It's not a big deal, it's very simple query only, but just you have to combine all these three things. With that, you can able to perform the activity to load the data into semantic zone table.
So we need data from both the files.
How you can able to understand we need to get data from both the files? No need to ask the question to me. So just I'm telling you. So if you see here in the transformational document, what is the source table? They are given the one table or two tables. They are given the two tables. Indirectly, you need to get the data from the both the tables, and you need to load the data into the target table.
We need all 5 columns.
Yeah, only 5 columns, because in the source table we are having the total 12 columns only. But into the target table, how many columns I want? Only 5 columns. All these things you need to understand. That's the reason I'm saying that try to understand from your side. I will explain, but first you try to understand from your side. We need to get data from the 2 tables, and we need data for only 5 columns. And for these 5 columns, again, you need to understand what is the requirement. If you want to understand the requirement, where we need to go, we need to see the transformation. Here you can able to see the requirement. First requirement, direct mapping. Second requirement, direct mapping. But coming to third, we need to get the total words. Fifth, we need to get the total polled words. Fifth, we need to get the percentage of the words. How we need to derive all these values, we need to think yourself. Just I'm repeating the same thing, Andy. Whomever completed till step 14, please try to understand how we need to perform the step 15. If anyone stuck anywhere, online people, please inform me. Okay, just I'm explaining about how to load the data into semantic zone table. Please try to understand here, Andy. All the folks, please see here. I am trying to explain how to load the data into the semantic zone table. Please try to understand this. So see here, we need to go to the semantic tab. In the semantic tab, you can able to understand what is the requirement of the semantic table. What is the semantic table here? Result underscore summary. In this table, how many columns we are having total? Only 5 columns. In the staging table, in the both the tables, we are having 12 columns and 12 columns only. But coming to semantic table, what is my requirement? I want to get data for only the 5 columns. I don't want to get data for all the columns. That is the first requirement. Second requirement, for this state column, you want to get data from only one table or multiple tables. For this state column, if you see, what is the source here? We need to get data from the confirm zone table. But from the confirm zone, you want to get data from one table or 2 tables? I want to get data from the 2 tables only. From the Punjab table, I want to get the data. From the Telangana table also, I want to get the data. After getting the data from the both the tables, that data I want to load into my state column. In the same way, for party name also, I want to get the data from the both the tables. Indirectly, from the staging tables, I need to get the data from the staging 1 table and staging 2 table. From the both the tables, we need to get the data. That data we need to load on top of our target table, which is nothing but our result summary table. In this result summary table, I want to load data for only 5 columns. And one more requirement, if you observe here, you need to get data from 2 tables at the same time. For each and every column, if you want to understand the requirement, as I told you earlier, we need to refer the transformation. What is the transformation for the first column? We need to apply any transformation. It's a kind of a direct mapping. It's a direct mapping. Whatever the data we are having in the source state column, same data load into the target state column. What about the party name? This is also direct mapping. But if you see the third one, I want to get the data for total polled votes only. For this one, what is the transformation rule they are giving? Populate total polled votes across the state. This is the requirement. Now for this column, you try to give the answer. What is the source column? Any guess? To load the data into this column, what is the source column we need to use?
Voters.
Number of votes.
Any confusion?
Number of
here.
votes.
For this column, if you see here, voters are total. If you see, this is the fifth row.
Total.
This is the target column. For this column, what is the source column here? We need to use. Is my mistake on this? Is source value. So what is the source column we need to use here? We need to use the source column called as a total column, which is nothing but if you want to populate the data into the total polled votes column from the source, which column we need to refer? We need to refer the column called as a total column. Like that, for each and every column, they are going to specify to load data into this column, which column we need to use from the source. All that information we can able to see in the document called as a transformation rule document. Now, for example, I want to load data for the total voters column only. Now, for this column, from which column we need to load the data?
Total voters.
We need to load data from the total voters. In the same way, we need to load data from the total column and total voters column. But on top of this column, what is the rule we need to apply? If you see the transformation rule, populate total polled votes across the state, which is nothing but you want to load the data directly total to total votes. You want to load the data directly like this 1 to 1, or we need to apply any transformation.
Transformation.
I want to get the total number of votes which are polled across the state only. For that reason, what we need to do here? We need to give it as a sum of total. This
as
value
total
we need
votes.
to load into the total votes column. Okay. From the source, you need to pick data for the total column. On top of this column, we need to apply the sum function. With this, whatever the data we are getting, that data we need to load into the column called as a total votes column. In the same way, if you see the fourth column only, sorry, fifth column, fourth or fifth, yes, sorry, fifth, fourth. Now, this is the fourth column in the target table, total voters column. Now, for this column, what is the source column? Again, you need to refer this from the same transformation rule document. If you see the transformation rule document, what is the source column we are using? We are using the total voters column. This is the source column. Now we need to understand, is it a direct mapping or we need to apply the transformation rule? What is the transformation rule for the total voters also? I want to populate total polled voters across the state. Indirectly, again, what operation we need to perform here also? We need to perform the aggregate operation, which is nothing but we need to perform the sum operation. Okay. This is for third column. This is for fourth column. In the same way, if you see the fifth column only, this is the column. What is the column name? PCT underscore votes. Might be some people can able to get the confusion. Sir, what is the meaning of PCT underscore votes? How you can able to understand what is the meaning of this column? If you see the transformation rule document, for every column, they are going to give the description only. What is the description? It's nothing but percentage of the votes. Okay, at any point of time, if you are not understanding what is the meaning of this column, simply you can able to refer the description. Based on that, you can get some understanding what is the purpose of this column. Now we need to understand how to populate the data into this column. Is it a straight mapping or we need to apply any requirement? If you see the transformation, what they're asking?
Percentage of votes.
They're asking populate percentage of the votes only, and they're given the formula also. What is the formula? Total polled votes by total number of voters only, which is nothing but indirectly we need to perform sum of total divided by sum of total voters, because I want to get the percentage total polled votes which we are getting from the sum of total, and total number of voters which we can able to get from the sum of total voters. By using this formula, you can able to populate data for the percentile underscore votes. This is the way for each and every column you need to understand what is the requirement. Do we need to apply any kind of transformations? You have to understand everything. Accordingly, we need to frame the SQL statement. Okay. Now you tell me, all these requirements are at the table level or column level?
Column level.
All these requirements are at the column level. Now you try to give the answer. Do we have any table level requirement indirectly here? Do we have any table level requirement in this example? To load the data into this table, you want to load the data from the one table or you want to load data from the multiple tables? From the two different tables, I want to load the data only. Such kind of requirements only we can able to call it as a table level requirements, because if you want to load the data, you want to read the data from the single table or you need to read the data from the multiple table. To understand that, we need to understand the table level requirement. For every column, whatever the information they are giving in the transformation column, such kind of requirements we can able to call it as a column level requirements. In that I'm trying to say, with the help of the transformation rule document, you need to understand the table level requirement, you need to understand the column level requirement. For example, see, in employee table, I am having department ID 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 values. Now my client is given the requirement while loading the data into my target table. For example, my target table is employee target table, and while loading the data into this table, please load the data for only department ID 20 employees. This is the requirement. Now you tell me, is it the table level requirement or column level requirement?
Column level.
Tell me now, this is the table level requirement or column level requirement?
Column level.
Column level.
Column level? It's a perfectly wrong answer. Tell me, are we doing any kind of transformations on the column? Just what I'm doing. While loading the data from the source table to target table, I want to filter some records, and indirectly on the column, we are not doing any kind of operation. We are loading all the data as it is. In the source table, for example, in the employee table, we are having the 5 columns, and for all the 5 columns, we are loading the same data into my target table, but we are loading all the records, or we are loading the only particular department ID records. We are loading only particular department ID records. Indirectly, you are doing the filtering operation on top of your table. Such kind of requirements we can able to call it as a table level requirement. Now, for example, in the employee table, I am having the first name column and last name column. Now, my requirement is while loading the data into my target table, I want to load data for ename column. For this ename column, I want to concatenate first name and last name. This is the requirement. Now tell me, this is what kind of requirement? In the target table, I want to load data for the ename column. For this ename column, what I'm telling, take the first name from the employee table, take the last name from the employee table. You want to load the same data as it is, or you want to apply the concatenation? I want to apply the concatenation between first name and last name, then load the data into the ename column. Indirectly, what we are discussing here, on top of this column, I want to apply the transformation. Now, this is the table level requirement or column level requirement? This we are calling it as a column level requirement. This is the one more important thing you need to understand, Andy. What is the difference between the column level requirement and table level requirement? As part of meetings in the real time, sometimes they will say, this is the table level requirement. Please apply this requirement at the table level. What it means indirectly, on the columns, we are not applying any transformation. Only at the table level, we are going to apply the transformation. Sometimes in the meetings, they are going to say, you need to apply the column level requirement. Then what we have to do, we need to apply the requirements for each and every individual column. But tell me again, same question. How you can able to understand, we need to perform the concatenation here. How we can able to understand, we need to perform the concatenation.
As per
transformation rule, you need to refer the same transformation rule document. In the transformation rule column, they are going to give all such kind of information, and with that you can able to understand whether you need to perform the concatenation or aggregation or substring or join. All that information we can able to understand by using the transformation rule document. Now in this example, what we need to apply? We need to apply the column level requirement. At the same time, you need to get data from one table or multiple tables. I need to get the data from the multiple tables, which is nothing but you need to apply the table level requirement also. Now tell me, by applying both the requirements, how we can able to frame the query to load data into semantic table. How to load data by applying all above requirements into
the select state
SJ table. So tell me, first I want to pull the data from the staging Punjab table. How we can able to get data from the staging Punjab table?
Select start from
staging underscore Punjab table. Or you can give the project name dot database name dot. You can give the complete. Just I'm giving the high level picture already. Select star from staging underscore Punjab table. And if you want to get data from the Telangana table, what we can do? Select star from staging underscore Telangana.
So that star is not needed, no, sir. Like,
yeah, that we'll discuss. Yeah, we'll discuss in a few minutes. Okay. Now see here. Now we need to get data from the one table or multiple tables. I want to get data from the multiple tables, Andy. So for that reason, one more thing. Here we need to get the data from the both the tables. But are we going to perform merging operation between these two tables vertically or horizontally? Are we populating any extra column here? We are not populating any extra column, and indirectly we need to perform the merging operation vertically, or sometimes they are going to give the requirement apply union between STG underscore Punjab table and STG underscore Telangana table. So this is the way they are going to provide the requirement, or if they are not given the requirement also, you should be in the position to understand what operation we need to perform as per the data or as per the requirement. Now in this example, you are trying to retrieve data from the two different tables. In between these two tables, we need to apply the merging operation vertically, and you want to get all the records, or you want to get only matched records? I want to get all the records. So for that reason, what we have to do here, we need to apply the union operator, or you can able to apply the union all operator by depending on your convenience. But tell me here, do we need to give the star, or we need to give the only specific column names?
Specific column name.
If you are given the star, what's the problem?
All the columns.
It will take all the columns. At the same time, as per my requirement, I want to get data for only 5 columns. And if I'm given the star, what will happen? Unnecessarily, you are fetching the data for all the columns. Whether it is going to increase the cost or decrease the cost. Unnecessarily, it will increase the cost. And that's the reason, instead of giving the star, better to specify only the required columns. Now, what columns I want to fetch? Only these columns. For that reason, just I'm copying all these column names here. Now, in between all the columns, we need to give the comma. Instead of giving the star, here I'm giving the column names manually like this. Now, from the second table also, instead of giving the star, I am given the column names manually like this. Okay. Now this is the way simply we can able to frame the query. And now in this query, what I'm doing here, I am fetching the data from the Punjab table, and also I'm fetching the data from the Telangana table. In between both the tables, we are going to perform the merging operation like this. But that's it, or do we need to perform any other operation? So
That
far,
should-
what is the requirement we applied? We applied the table level requirement, or we applied the column level requirement?
Table level.
So far, we applied the only table level requirement only, but on top of this data, we need to apply the column level requirement also. Now, what operation we need to perform? Already we discussed, right? If you want to get the total voters, we need to give it as sum of total voters. So here I'm giving sum of total voters as, I'm giving the alias name only as total voters. In the same way, below also we have to give. Okay. Now tell me, if I am going to run the query like this, what is going to happen? If I am going to run the query, for example, like this, what will happen? For example, see.
We have to give group by other.
Now for Punjab, I am having values like this, 10, 20. And coming to Telangana, for example, I am having values as 30 and 40. Okay, just assume that here in this table, we are having the Punjab data. Here we are having the Telangana data. Now we are applying the sum of total voters only. Yeah, forgot about the syntax error and everything. If this query is going to execute, then what is the output we are going to get?
10, 20, 30,
40.
Sum of Punjab is nothing but we are getting output as a 30, and sum of Telangana is nothing but we are getting output as a 70. Okay. So from this table, we are getting the sum value as a 30. From this table, we are getting sum value as a 70 and D. But my requirement is, I don't want to get the segregate data like this. I want to get the combined output as a 100.
So
I want to
then
get the
after
combined
union-
output as a 100. Then what we need to do?
After the union, we'll do the total.
Yeah, so see here, what we can do here is, up to here, we are going to perform the merging operation vertically. Up to here, if I'm going to run the query, what will happen? It is given the output as a 10, 20, 30, and 40. Now, on top of this result, I want to perform the sum operation. So what we have to do here indirectly, we need to apply the subquery. And so what we are doing here is, I'm giving select. Coming to state column, no requirement, I'm giving the direct column, comma. Coming to party name, no requirement, directly I'm giving the same column, comma. Now I'm giving sum of 1 second. This is the column name for this. Sum of total as, we are giving alias name is, for example, total polled votes. This is the third column. Coming to fourth column, sum of. What I'm doing, I'm taking all the columns from the requirement document and the sum of total voters. I'm giving alias name as total voters. Okay. After that, I want to get the percentage. How we can able to get the percentage? I'm giving sum of total divided by sum of total voters. And If you want to get the percentage, what we have to do, we need to do the multiplication with the 100 also. I'm giving the bracket, starting bracket and ending bracket. Then I'm giving 100. For this, I'm giving alias name is nothing but percentage of words. So this is the way you need to frame the query. But tell me here, all this operation we are performing on what? We are performing on top of this query. And so what we are doing here is indirectly, just we are given the from statement. After the from statement, just open the bracket and close the bracket here. So indirectly what I'm doing here, I am giving one query as input to the one more query. That kind of concept only what we can able to call here. We can able to call it as nothing but this is the subquery. And in the same way, we discuss one high level example as part of our database concepts. Whenever we are giving one query as input to the one more query, that kind of queries only we can able to call it as a subquery. But why we are applying the subquery here? Because I want to do the merging operation. In there, I'm going to get the data like this. On top of this data, I want to apply the summing operation. Here, if I'm going to run this query, what will happen? You are going to get the data for indirectly 10, 20, 30, 40. But I don't want to get the detailed records. I want to get the aggregate records. For that reason, we are giving this entire query input output as input to the outer query. With this, it is going to perform the aggregate operation. With that, we are going to get the data. But tell me, still is it the complete query? What we have to apply? Earlier someone is saying we need to apply the group by clause. Why we need to apply the group by clause, Andy? Because I want to do the summing operation at the column level. For that reason, we need to apply the group by clause. Now I'm giving, for example, group by state. Now tell me this query is correct or wrong? What is the rule we need to follow as part of using the group by clause?
Aggregate column.
Whatever the columns we are giving in the select statement, we need to pass all those columns into the group by clause. Otherwise, what will happen? That query will throw the syntax error. For that reason, here I'm giving state, party name. Otherwise, what will happen? That query will throw the syntax error. This is the way you need to frame the complete query, Andy. So first we are given the source table query only by using 5 columns. And we are given the one more source table query only by using the 5 columns. After that, in between both the queries, we are applying the union operator as per the requirement. On top of this output, I want to perform the aggregate operations again by depending on the requirement. For that reason, I am passing this entire query as input to the other query. That concept only we are calling it as a subquery, and in the outer query, we are applying all the aggregate functions. Based on that, finally, this is the way you need to frame the query. Because of using the aggregate functions at the column level, you need to apply the group by clause. So this is the final query we need to prepare. Try to run this query in your systems. Sorry, come again. PCT underscore words. Oh, sorry, it's my mistake then.
The source table different.
Yeah, then what we can do is just we have to remove this. Is my mistake. Sorry. We are giving only 4 columns, okay? Because for 5th column, we need to derive this value. That's the reason we are not giving the 4th column. Only 4 columns we have to give here. Any questions on top of this query, please ask me. Because this is the very, very, very important step, Andy. Loading the data without applying the transformation is a very, very easy task. Just what I'm doing, I'm giving the load data, I'm giving the command. With that, you are loading all the data from the file to your confirm zone, where we are having the complexity. You are having the complexity while loading the data from the confirm zone to semantic zone. While loading the data from the confirm zone to semantic zone, there only we need to apply all our requirements, Andy. Here, if you want to apply the requirement, we need to frame the query like this. If you want to frame the query, first we need to understand the requirement. As per the requirement, here I'm applying the union operator. I am applying the aggregate function. I am applying the group by clause. By using all these things only, you can able to write the SQL statement. With that, you can able to load the data into your semantic table. Any questions on top of this query, please ask me. Don't type it all these queries blindly in your systems, Andy. Try to understand it. With that, try to execute these queries in your system. This is the question for old batch students, Andy. Whomever there in the old batch, do you know how many types of subqueries we are having? For new batch, we have discussed this topic so far. Just I'm asking about the old people, Andy. How many types of subqueries are there?
2 types.
What are those?
Inner query, outer
In and exit.
In and exit. No. That's a concept. Inner query, outer query is a concept. And I'm asking about types of subqueries.
Nested subquery and then correlated subquery.
We are having nested subqueries, and we are having inline subqueries, and we are having correlated subqueries. New batch people, don't worry, we are going to cover all those topics in the coming classes. Just I'm checking with the previous people. Correlated subquery. So like this, we are having the three types of subqueries: nested subquery, inline subquery, and correlated subquery. Again, this question to the old people only. Whatever the subquery we are writing here, what type of subquery it is? Any guesses? Old people. Old people in the sense other than 19 batch.
Inline subquery.
Yeah, this is the kind of a inline subquery and whenever we are going to write the inline subquery, so this is applicable for again new people actually this type of subquery we can able to call it as a inline subquery. Whenever we are going to write the inline subqueries, compulsory for this entire query we have to give the alias name, otherwise that query will throw the error. For that reason, after this bracket, just type given the alias name is X. If you want, you can try without giving the X also. If you are not giving the X, what will happen? That query will throw the syntax error, because here we are applying the concept called as a inline subquery. Whenever we are going to write the inline subquery, compulsory we have to give the alias name. If you are not going to give the alias name, what will happen? That query will throw the error.
It's like a table name.
Yes, correct.
Derived table name.
Yes, correct. And here, when you are typing in your systems, please give it as your database name dot table name, and here also please give it as a database name dot table name. Again, intentionally, I'm not pasting this query into the Telegram group, and please type completely end to end. With that, you will get some idea. So all these columns, whether you need to type or you can copy from the Excel sheet directly. No need to type it, and in the Excel sheet already you can be able to see all these 4 columns. Copy and paste it, give the comma, and coming to second query also copy paste all these columns from the Excel sheet, and you can able to give the comma, because in the real time also you are going to perform the same kind of activities. For that reason only I am not pasting all these queries into the Telegram group. Is it interesting or boring? Yeah, if it is challenging, a good answer.
Sir, I got some columns as a null, sir. Some like a candidate or say phase, that columns as null in control.
No, for all the columns you are having null values, or only for few columns you are having null values?
Few columns only null values.
Yeah, that's okay. Because in the data only we are having null values. For that reason, you are seeing the null values into your console also.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Sir, I just could you please show me that syntax of how to load that data?
Syntax of?
Load the data in the tables. I stopped there.
Okay.
Sir, 87 rows inserted, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, whomever asked that question, so please wait for some time, because other people are working on this query. Most of the people are working on this query. I will show you that after some time, that load query. Okay. Yeah, someone is saying that 87 records are inserted. You inserted the data, or just you given the select statement?
I inserted, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Anything, sir? Or any...
No, nothing. That's correct.
Okay.
Now see here, if I am going to run this query will give the output, or this query will do the insert operation?
Only give the output.
This query only will give the output, but what is our requirement? We need to load the data into our semantic table. If you want to load the data, then what is the change we need to perform on top of this query? Earlier, we are given the load data. With the load data, you are loading the data from the file to table. But in this example, you want to load the data from the file to table or query output to the table. This query output, I want to load into the some other table. Then what is the change we need to perform on top of this SQL query? Any cases? That also we discussed in the previous classes. For example, I want to copy data from one table to other table. What is the query? Copy data from one table to other table.
Create.
Insert. Create is required. I want to copy only data. Already structure is there. What we can do? Insert into target table. After that, select star from source table. Okay. Here also what we can do, already we are having the select statement. On top of this, just what we can do here, we need to add the insert statement, and up to here, if I'm going to run the query, what will happen? This query will give the output, but my requirement is I don't want to get the output. I want to insert all this data into my semantic zone table. For that reason, on top of this query, just we need to add the one more line, and just give it as insert into. I will take the table name from here. This is the table. Insert into table name. After that, we are given the select all these statements. We are given the source table, which is nothing but confirm zone table. We are applying the table level requirement. We are applying the column level requirement. With that, we are loading the data into my semantic zone table. Again, I'm repeating the same statement. Please try to understand how we build this query. Why we are given the union, why we are given the group by, why we are given the aggregation, why we are applying the subquery. Please try to understand that. With that, try to execute this query in your systems. Don't blindly type everything. Online people facing any issues in this query while running? Okay. Offline people, any issues?
So this insert statement, just after that, direct select statement, right?
Yeah, correct. Direct select statement. Because this select statement is going to give the display the data actually, but I don't want to display the data. Here I want to load the data. For that reason, we are giving the insert statement. After that, we are giving the select statement. But just to ensure that whether your query is correct or not, first run the select query. If this query is running, then only please give the insert statement.
Sir, nothing comes in between those two. Like
nothing will come on. No need to give anything.
This is a new one, right? We haven't discussed it.
No, we discussed already. So earlier we discussed about how to copy data from one table to other table. All we discussed about how many ways we discussed about creation of the backup table, if you remember.
Three types.
Three ways, right? In all those three ways, you can able to see this comment. Other people have discussed about this statement or not? As part of discussing about how to create the backup table, we discussed about this approach and how to copy data from one table to other table. If you want, you can refer the previous notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am trying to run that one, stage that Telangana was not found in the in location US, like that error I am getting, sir.
I think you are giving the wrong table name or you are giving your wrong database name. If it is saying if it is not available in the US region, something like that, what that means is you are giving the wrong table name or wrong database name in your SQL query. Please try that. Please verify and change it.
Yeah, 87 rows has been loaded.
Perfect. Offline people, any issues? How many completed?
For me, it's showing an error, sir.
1 second. Offline people are asking some question. Just 1 minute. See, in this query, there is a mistake only. So if you people find that, I can able to say you are following everything properly. So here I given the total polled votes only, but this is the source column name or target column name. Just we'll see the transformation rule document. If you see here, total polled votes is the target column name. For this column, what is the source? Total, which is nothing but I typed the query here wrongly. Please correct it yourself. It's a total.
But in BigQuery, when we are giving anyway, it throws errors. So during the time we can rectify it.
Yeah, but some other people are not seeing that error. That's the reason just I'm explaining. Some people are asking this question from the offline. For them, just I'm explaining.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it will give the error. Okay, if it is given the error, so how we need to verify? You need to verify that indirectly that column is not present in the table. Then you can go back to the transformation rule document. You need to verify whether you given the proper column or wrong column. Actually, here when I'm typing, I given the wrong column. You need to correct it. Please do this change and it will work. Online people, any questions so far?
Sir, can you give for view requirement? Can you just share us, sir, if possible?
Now for view, there is no requirement only. On top of this table, just I need to create the view, direct view. On top of this table, directly I want to create the one-to-one view.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you know about the process, you can create it directly. Otherwise, just wait for a few minutes.
You can give just create view name as.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, if you know that process, you can create. Other people don't know, right? So if for other people, they need to wait for some time.
Okay.
That's a very important one because are they increase server data?
Sir, for just normal checking, just I have given both select statement instead of the main query. Okay. Hello. Hello.
I think sir is explaining for offline people.
Yeah.
Okay. So offline, most of the people are completed. What is the status for online people?
Sir, yeah, okay, we had done. But the thing is, sir, just I'm trying one more trial. Just I'm using this select statement inside the main query. Okay. So
Select
instead of
statement inside the main query. Okay.
yeah, just I'm removing the all. Just I try to get what are the records I'm getting. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm getting error in the select line.
Now, what is the select line you're giving?
Just select the whatever the percent is there. I'm given the same.
Okay. Are you applying the group by clause?
No. See, sir, I'm just firing the subquery, not those things.
Firing only the subquery part. Okay. So firing the subquery with what? Without using the union all you're running?
Just union only I'm using, not the all.
It will work on it, I think. Just 1 second, I'm checking it. Any specific error it is throwing?
In the select statement, the second select it is throwing here. It should expect distinct, correct? The error I'm getting.
Okay, so might be, I think, so.
Maybe in console it is using.
I think second select, sir.
Both.
I think here union is directly not working. You have to give the union all only.
Yeah, that's okay.
I will check that once and I will get back on it.
Okay.
So why union is not working, I will check it once. As we discussed earlier, so some of the commands directly won't work as if our database concept. So we have to do small modification. So I think here union is directly not working. We have to give the
I
union.
remember. Maybe you told in the first day. I think so.
Yeah.
Union is not working. Yeah, correct. That's reminder. Yeah.
Okay, so if everyone completed already, so now we completed up to 15 steps. Now what is the last step? Whatever the data we loaded into the semantic zone, on top of that, we need to create the views and it. But so far, coming to new batch students, we have discussed about the views. But just I will give you the command how we need to create the views. In the coming classes, we'll discuss about what is the view, what is the purpose of the view in the real time, why all these people are depending on the view instead of on the semantic zone table. All those topics we'll discuss in the coming classes only. But for now, just to try to understand what is the query we need to prepare. Create view. I have to give the view name. Create view name as select star from your table. So please run this query only. So create view name. So we are going to create the view in the visualization zone database. So we are given the bj underscore ls underscore results dot result summary and as select star from the table, from the semantic table. Indirectly on top of the semantic table, we are creating the view in the visualization database. That's the reason we have to give the query like this.
Sir, for the earlier one, if you are giving union with distinct, it is working.
Yeah, it will work on this. So we need to do some tweaks in the query. It will work.
No need to do anything. Instead of all, just replace it with distinct.
You are giving union distinct. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a small change we need to perform. You're correct. Okay, instead of giving the union, you are giving the union distinct. With that, it's working. You are saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So please run this query and so create view name as select star from the table. By using this query, simply we can able to create the view. But what is the view? What is the purpose of the view? All those things we'll discuss in the coming classes. Okay, so with this step, please.
Sir, one more thing. Can you go to architect diagram, sir? Just I must follow. So here, see, actually, these are belongs to the internal, like which are loaded in the BQ. That is the internal, right? Native. So instead of this semantic, can we go to direct visualization, right? See, just writing a view by using the confirm zone table.
No, that's the thing, Andy. So if you want to understand that, first you need to understand what is the purpose of the view. So if you are going to apply whole logic in the view, what will happen is whenever we are going to generate the reports, every time it need to run the whole logic. Okay. Yes. But coming to here, what we are doing, I am applying all the logic in the table. With that, data is loading into the table. On top of that, we are creating the view. Okay. So if you want to coming to your question, if you want to understand the answer, first you need to understand what is the purpose of the view. Once you understand the purpose, then you can able to understand it very easily.
Yeah. Just I'm asking the real time. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if you created the view here, we can able to say all these are the 17 steps only. So this is the way we can able to follow, or this is the way we can able to perform all the activities end to end as part of our real time. Now see here in the real time, are we going to deal with the one table or two table or hundreds of the tables? We are going to deal with the hundreds of the tables only. If we are going to work on the one table or 10 tables or 20 tables or 100 tables also, we are going to perform the same kind of operations as part of our real time. But in the classes, we cannot able to discuss about the 100 tables only. But here we did the practice for 2 staging tables and 1 semantic table. But if you are going to work in the real time, what is going to happen? You are going to work on the more confirm zone tables and you are going to work on the more semantic zone table. But once you are going to get the perfect understanding about this end-to-end flow, with that you can able to work on any number of tables as part of our real-time projects. Okay, this is the way you need to understand end-to-end how we are going to perform the operations as part of our real-time project. Now just to go through this diagram once, Sunday. In this diagram, what we are doing, from the source, from on the on-premise, we are getting all the data into the landing zone. From the landing zone, what we are doing, we are copying all the data into the GCS bucket by using the gsutil command. After that, by using the BigQuery, we are going to maintain the 3 different layers. One is the confirm zone, one is the semantic zone, one is the visualization zone. In all these 3 zones, we are going to maintain the different type of the data. In the first zone, we are going to maintain the raw data. Second zone, we are going to maintain the transformed data. Third zone, we are going to maintain the views. Now coming to confirm zone, how we are loading the data? By using the load command, you need to load the data from the GCS to confirm zone. Coming to semantic zone, we need to build the SQL query as per the requirement. And by using the query, we need to perform the loading operation. After that, we need to create the views. But before doing all these operations, we need to create the databases. We need to create the table structure by using the document called as a transformation rule document. All these are the activities we perform practically as part of our today's session. Hope I am feeling that you got some end-to-end idea about how we are going to perform these activities in the real-time project. Still, if you are having any questions or confusions, please ask me.
Sir, once you can you show the view command?
Yeah, I will show you. Before that, any other questions?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah,
because it is our daily task, right? It's real-time what?
No, can you repeat the question once?
This will be our daily task, right?
Yeah, this is the daily task. Okay. So because in the real time, if you are going to work, you are not going to have only 1 table or 2 tables, right? For example, in your project, you are having the 100 confirm zone tables and you are having, for example, 50 semantic zone tables. So what is going to happen in the real time? So this work will be splitting to multiple team members within the team. And so for example, you are having the 5 members team. So then for you, what will happen? I think you will get around 20 tables. On these 20 tables, you need to load the data into the confirm zone table. And for example, out of 5 members, we are going to get the 10 tables. resource 1 is going to work on 20 confirm zone tables. And coming to here, I can able to say resource 2 is going to work on 10 semantic zone tables. But tell me, can we be able to complete loading the data for all these tables in the single day? No, right?
No, sir.
So it will take the time. So indirectly, daily we are going to perform the similar kind of operation. Not only this operation, as a data engineer, this is the one of the tasks. But tell me, as a data engineer, we are going to work on what? We are going to work on the data proc by depending on the project requirement, or we are going to work on the pub sub. This is the one more kind of project requirement. By depending on the requirement, we are going to use the different types of the services. But in your project, if you are going to use the BigQuery service, then what we have to do? We need to perform same activities as we discussed above. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, how could be multiple people will work syntax? Like that when you said 5 members are divided into 10 contributors.
Yeah, correct. No, I didn't get it. Yeah, 5 members are divided.
So how it is possible? And my question, how it is possible?
How it is possible? What is not possible? I didn't get that.
Means it is, we are asking in a task, there is required 100 tables only.
Yes,
so
correct.
One people only work on the 100 tables. So multiple people, how they can work in the 100.
So if only one person is working on the 100 tables, how many days it will take to complete the project?
It will take,
for example, 3-4 weeks. Okay. But if you are going to split the same work to the multiple people, what will happen? We can able to complete the same work within 1 week, right? So that's the reason, by depending on the project requirement, by depending on the timelines, and either they will recruit the 5 members, or they will recruit the 3 members, or they will recruit the 1 member. For example, instead of 100, here I'm saying that in the project I want to maintain the 1000 confirm zone tables and 500 semantic zone tables. And now tell me, one person can able to work on all these things?
No, sir.
He will get mad. That's the reason, in the real time, 1 members won't work on it. At least we are going to have the 5-member team, or 10-member team, or 20-member team, by depending on the requirement. So in the real time, by depending on the amount of the work we are having, they are going to recruit those many members into the team, and those many members are going to work together as part of our real time project. Is it clear?
Got it, sir. Yes.
Is there any abbreviation for the URIs?
Insert one, it just go now.
Sorry.
Insert one on the percentage votes and some issue.
What's the issue?
I'm getting error. If I'm commenting that, it's getting successful somehow.
I think you are giving some wrong brackets. Please verify the number of brackets here. A URI is nothing but unique resource identifier. Someone is asking what is meant by URI.
Yes, sir.
It's a unique resource identifier.
Okay.
So just I want to inform one very important statement, Andy. I think from last 3-4 days onwards, I'm trying to give you this information, but I'm forgetting. That's the reason I typed here. So very simple. While loading the data into the BigQuery table, what we are doing, we are loading the data into the BigQuery table from the GCS bucket table, right? From the GCS bucket file, we are loading the data into the BQ table. If you are going to perform that operation, your BQ database and GCS bucket both should be in the same location or same region, Andy. Otherwise, what will happen? For example, my bucket is there in the UK and my BQ database is there in US. In the situation, you cannot able to perform the data loading operation, or you cannot able to perform any kind of operations in the BigQuery. You are going to get the error. Actually, this is the point I forgot to inform earlier, Andy. So whenever you are going to create the BigQuery database, you need to verify if you want to use the GCS, that GCS bucket and BigQuery database both should be present in the same location. Otherwise, what will happen? Your query will give the error. Okay. So that's all from my side, Andy. So if anyone not completed this whole thing, please complete all these activities. Then please leave for the day. And whomever completed, for them I will give you a task. And please plan for this task. Task is do all above activities from Cloud SDK or by using G-Cloud Shell. By depending on your convenience, Andy. So what we are doing here, we are doing all these activities from the console, but actually in the real time, what we are going to do, we are going to perform the same activities from the SDK, or we need to perform the same activities from the G-Cloud Shell. Please take this as an assignment. And by when you have to submit? Today evening. It won't take much time, Andy. Maximum it will take 1 hour of time, because already we discussed about all these steps. Already I explained everything. Only what you have to do, you need to form the queries on top of the Cloud SDK. So already we know, you know about how to create the table. So just we have to give it as a BQ-T. You need to pass the schema. So with this, how many tables we are going to create? 2 tables. After that, you know how to load the data by using the BQ command. With that, you need to load the data into 2 tables. After that, you need to insert the data. So we have to give the query as a BQ query. Then you have to give it as a insert statement. With that, you can able to load the data into our semantic table. Trust me, if you are going to perform this activity focusedly, what we can do here, you can within 1 hour only you can able to complete this activity. And already we discussed about all these approaches as part of our yesterday's session. That's the reason only I am giving it as a assignment. Is it fine? Will you do it or not? If you do it, you can able to recap all the things whatever we discussed on the Cloud SDK. If you're not going to perform, what will happen? Nothing will happen, and you cannot able to understand how we are going to perform all these activities from the Cloud SDK. That's the reason. If you want to do this, you need to continue on the same day. For example, today already we discussed about all these steps, and now if you are going to perform the same activities by using the Cloud SDK also, what will happen? If you stuck at anywhere, tomorrow you can able to raise the question to me. With that, I can able to give the answer. If you are not doing the practice for this one, and if you are not doing the practice for Cloud SDK also, what will happen? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to start with the new topic. You need to perform the practice for that and practice for this also. It is going to give the overburden to you. For that reason, try to complete this assignment by today, end of the day. Is it fine? Or any questions or concerns, please ask me. Or am I asking to do any new thing here? Yesterday we spent around 3 to 4 hours for discussing about the same things, and by using the Cloud SDK with the help of the BQ commands, how we need to create the tables by using the multiple approaches. Actually, here I can able to ask like this: do all above activities from the Cloud Shell with different approaches. If I'm going to ask this, what will happen? You will feel very bad, and that's the reason I'm not asking with the different approaches. Try to perform this activity by using any one of the approach which you are convenient, and what's the different approaches we are having? If you want to create the table from Cloud SDK by using BQ command, how many options we are having? First option, BQ, we have to give the inline schema. This is one option. Otherwise, BQ, give the JSON file. This is the one more option. And if you are interested, please perform both the approaches. With that, what will happen? You are repeating the same task 3-4 times, and with that, you are getting the perfect knowledge on the end-to-end process on top of our BigQuery. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. This is the one of the very, very important interview question. At the same time, if you are going to work in the real time also, most of the time you are going to perform the similar kind of activities, and for that reason, try to perform the practice multiple times, but don't do the practice on the same approach multiple times, and first time, you can follow all this approach by using the console. Second time, try to create the inline schema by using from the Cloud Shell. Third time, try to create the same schema by using the JSON file. With that, you can able to recap all the previous topics. At the same time, you can able to recap all the steps, whatever we are going to perform as part of our real-time projects. Is it clear? Okay.
Sir, regarding the inline schema and JSON file commands, there is singular spaces, right? Or
single space only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side. If you have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can able to wind it up.
Yeah. Sir, that insert one, can you please open once, no? Insert.
Okay. Any other things?
Yes.
Okay, you want me to share this document, or you will do it your own self?
I'm doing that. So after summary, we need to give the as or something.
It's not required, right?
Oh.
It's not required. Okay. Yeah, for other people, I'm asking a question. You want me to send this document, or you will prepare your own document? I will send this document, but at the same time, my sincere suggestion, Andy, please prepare your own document. Indirectly, I can able to say, please write a story on this diagram. Story, and don't write the Bahubali story, Sunday. Okay, so story in the sense, please prepare a kind of a script, starting to ending, what is happening. Please write a kind of a script on that. So because same thing you have to explain as part of your interviews, right? Today, if you can able to prepare the script, what will happen? You can able to store it in your systems. Whenever you want, you can open the document, and with that, you can able to explain yourself only. And one more thing, please write the steps with your own hands. I will send this document. I don't have any issues, Andy, but whatever the practice you are doing, please try to capture all that information into a notepad or into the Word document. Whatever the activities you are doing, if you are going to copy that information to the notepad or Word document, what will happen? In future, easily you can able to recap it. For that reason, please perform this activity. 2 activities. One is write the script. Second one, try to prepare all the steps with your own hands. And third thing, please perform the assignment. With that, you can able to get the end-to-end knowledge on top of this entire flow. Okay. Now someone will think like this. Sir, today Sunday, already half day completed. Do we need to spend again half more day? You have to spend it on. Okay. If you want to get the job, you have to spend it. So please 3 months. Adjust your timings and sacrifice your enjoyments and everything. And after 3 months, what will happen? Definitely you can able to get the job. Once you are going to get the job, can we enjoy? No, then other project will start. But at least you are getting the money at that time, right? So you will feel happy. So that's the reason. Please sacrifice your all your enjoyments and everything. Please focus on all these things. With that, you can able to get the jobs. Okay, that's all for today. And afternoon we don't have any class only. So already I think we spent a lot of time. So afternoon we don't have any class. So please do the practice for this end to end. Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
View.
Yeah, I will send this file to everyone only. So please go through this file if you have any questions.
Okay.
Both files.
What both files? Only one file, no?
Yes. Yes.
See, this diagram already we are having in the transformation rule document. Whatever the transformation rule document I sent to you, in the document, in the sheet 2, you can able to see the diagram. Only thing I need to send this notepad. I will send it to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.